we heard the gunshots from our bedroom. We heard them firing off several times at first, and then it paused for like a split second, and then we heard more gun firing that was louder. After it stopped, we walked outside to see what was going on, and as I'm standing outside with my mother-in-law and my fiance walks out, the cop comes jumping over our fence, gun in hand, yelling at us to get back in the house. So we go back inside, and that's when I started filming, and they swarmed the entire back of the house, front of the house, and everything. And right now we're actually seeing that they were outside still, but they had both roads completely blocked off, wouldn't even let us go out the front door or the back door.
Without giving us, any names or anything, who's your neighbor there who lives in that home? Would there have been children possibly in the house, or just kind of maybe give us a general description of who lives there? From what I'm told by my mother-in-law, it was a woman, her husband, and they do have a small child. He's about 3 or 4 years old. I'm unaware if he was actually in the house at the time, but yes, there are children that live there.
Tell us, we've been reporting that a deputy was shot. Did you actually witness that deputy being shot or see the deputy being carried off or getting into an ambulance? What did you see?
No, we heard the ambulances pull up, but it was on the other side of the house. We were not able to actually see them get taken out. But when I first walked outside, I did hear the woman yelling at the cop, and then that's when they started swarming. So it sounded like she was outside.
What was she saying? What was she yelling?
I couldn't really make it out exactly what she was saying because we were walking out just as I was hearing the voice, and at that same time I heard it, I seen the undercover actually pull his gun right there at the front of the squad car.
Oh my gosh.
And then that was when the cop had came up behind us telling us to get back in the house.
And you took this video from inside your house. Approximately how many minutes after first hearing those gunshots was that, when all these other officers were then on the scene?
Maybe less than 5 minutes.
Okay, so they were there extremely quickly. And can you describe the situation there right now? Did you actually see them take anybody out of that house, or from your vantage point were you unable to see that?
I tried to get it in my video, but it did look like we saw somebody through the glass windows, because you can see through the back doors from our house, and you could see them walking into the house, and then when they walked out, it looked like they did have somebody with them, but we couldn't make out who it was.
Okay, so you couldn't tell if it were a man or a woman, for example?
I believe it was a man.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't know at this point. We've been talking about a particular suicide threat here, and we don't know whether it was a woman or a man who was threatening suicide. You heard a woman yelling, but we don't know who. She could have been distraught over her husband, or we don't really know here. Do you know which, was it a man or a woman who may have fired at deputies?
From the knowledge I have of the couple, it probably could have been the woman, but that's given the circumstances that they have been known to have arguments and situations like that. My mother-in-law would actually know more about the couple themselves. I have her here with me right now if you would like to talk to her.
That would be great, or maybe you could just, ask her again if she has any direct knowledge of who may have been involved in that today.
Hi, I'm Tammy Dooley. I'm the one that knows Crystal and Don. They live right behind me.
Hey, Tammy, we're not going to go ahead and give their name at this point, just because.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but thank you for joining us today. You're talking to Devin Walsh along with Peter Albrecht, and we're just trying to, and you're live on the air with us here on WKRG as we talk about this situation. We cannot imagine how scary this must have been for you and your daughter-in-law and all of you at the house as you're having a quiet afternoon, and then you see a deputy, jump over your fence and deal with it with guns drawn, dealing with a situation like this.
Yeah, it was a little scary for a while.
What can you tell? Have police ever been called out to that house before? Is there any sort of history of that at all?
Yes. It was about 6 months ago. They had an argument or something. She asked for a divorce because she told me this herself. And he did not like the idea of a divorce. She pulled a knife on him. He had her committed. And I went to court, yes, and then she started seeing her little boy again. Then they decided to get back together a couple months ago. I don't know from that.
Okay, Cammie, hold on the line with us right here. We're going to tell our TV audience that we are going to break away from our television coverage right now. We'll be